Good evening. My name is Ani. It's a very special day today. Do you know why? The students of Speak Academy who have completed their level 1s in public speaking are going to perform their speeches that they have written in front of a live audience. I'm excited. Are you? I wish to begin today's event by welcoming our keynote speaker, Mr. Nilesh Jayanandana. Director of Speak Farviz Imamuddin, respected parents, coaches, and esteemed guests. I welcome you all to the 29th Speak Carnival. I wish to begin today's session, I invite Ayana to the screen.
Emily, an unplanned outing. Emily.
Start your speech, Linisha. You're on spotlight.
Good afternoon, everyone. Not planning can lead to many problems. Life taught me that lesson. Dear keynote speakers, parents, coach, and friends. One April vacation, my family members and my cousin's family were planning to go for an outing to Nigam. We fixed it on a Sunday morning. On the day of the trip, we got ready in the morning and started our journey. Me and my cousins were very happy. We were having fun throughout the journey. Finally, we reached the restaurant we were looking for. But no one had thought about pre-booking a restaurant for lunch. And it was the holiday season. The restaurant we were planning on going was full by that time. So we started looking for another restaurant to have our lunch. But every restaurant was occupied for nearly 2 hours. Our tummy started making noises. Finally, we found a cafe and we were so relieved. Then only we realized that we should always plan before doing something important. Friends, failing to plan is planning to fail. So if you ever decide to do something important, please make sure you plan beforehand. Thank you.
I'm in room. Play safe. Play safe. I'm in room.
Ivan, you're mute.
Play safe. I love playing, but we should play safe. Dear keynote speaker, parents, coaches, and friends, during one of our school holidays, we went on a holiday to Tigana Victoria Golf Course, where we stayed over at a villa. I went with my parents, 2 sisters, and my uncle. We started our journey around lunchtime from home and arrived at 6 p.m. We didn't have enough time to play because it was already dark. So we ran inside and then had our dinner and went to sleep. The next morning, I was impatient to go outside and play. So I had my tea at 6:30. Even before breakfast, I was still playing. It was so much fun. Then it got sunny, so we decided to go to the swimming pool. So I ran and jumped into the pool.
After that, we were splashing, shouting, we were having so much fun. And me, but we were only told to stay in the baby pool since the bigger pool was too deep for our heart. So when my parents were looking away, my sister slipped and fell into the pool. I didn't realize that she was drowning. So I shouted, "Dad, Dad, Jaffa is drowning." Luckily that my dad heard that Jaffa is drowning. So my dad ran and came and jumped into the pool and pulled my little sister up. She had already swallowed lots of water. So my parents pressed her chest and then she started to sweat some water up. After she was to her normal self, she started crying a lot. Then my parents quickly took her to the hot doctor. And then we vacated the hottie and we went back home. Friends, remember my story whenever you're going out to play. Playing is fun, but we should play safe. Thank you.
Sihat al-Hakim. Sometimes we might be too small to understand the reason. Sometimes we might be too small to understand the reason. Sihat al-Hakim.
Did you know that you can get into big trouble if you resist your parents? Dear keynote speaker, parents, coach and friends. I was 4 years old and I was home alone. I was bored and I wanted to do something. But I had no idea to what to do in indoors. So I decided to go out. I went to my mom and asked, "Mom, can you give me the door key?" And she said no. So I decided to sneak out through a window. When my mom was not looking, I took a window and tried to get out. Oh no! How will I get stuck? I shouted for help! Help! My mother and father came rushing to help me out. Then I realized how dangerous it was to go on windows. Friends, if your parents tell you not to do something, please listen to them. Sometimes we might be too small to understand their reasons. Thank you.
Naditi Chandrasekhar. We have
Once upon a time, there lived a boy called Sethmika. He was a passionate cricketer aspiring to be like Sangakkara. But when he was called to do a speech, he became anxious, nervous, and scared. So his parents decided to take him to Speak, a place where children got the opportunity to become great speakers. They trusted Speak to help Sethmika become a confident speaker. On his first day at Speak, Sethmika gave his first speech.
Me and my brother studies at Trinity College, Kent. My sister studies at Pushpagan Girls College. We three have a lot of fun at home.
Days, weeks, and months passed by. The day of the speech carnival arrived. Sethmika got onto the stage to do his final speech. His parents watched in anticipation, wondering if Speak would have delivered its promise. And then, this happened.
And my brother came running and flung the ball at me, trying to get me out. But I swung my bat like Sangha, hit so hard that the ball went flying like a bird and hit our neighbor's doorbell and went rolling down the garden. My two friends quickly hid. My brother went inside the house, closed the door, and I had no space to hide.
Canoe, never give up. Canoe, never give up. Canoe.
Can we introduce Naditi, please?
Naditi Chandrasekhara, we have to create a good human being. Naditi Chandrasekhara, we have to create a good human being.
Little school in town. I love to go to school. Every time the teacher gave us homework, I did all she asked us to bring the following day. I wore new clean uniforms and came with tidy combed hair. All the girls were like that, and we were very happy at school. But not everyone was the same. Dear keynote speaker, parents, coach, and friends. But there was one girl who came in dirty clothes, untidy hair. She wore the same dirty uniform for several days. Shoes were torn. Socks did not look new. She looked miserable. She would not do any homework. She wouldn't bring anything the teacher asked us to bring. Sometimes she wouldn't even bring meals or a water bottle. Most of the time, she was disturbing us. She couldn't write anything the teacher taught. We all disliked her, including me. I didn't know it when she sat close to me. Some girls laughed at her sarcastically. Her parents didn't come to any parents' meeting. One day, when I was waiting for my dad to pick me from school, I saw that girl going with her father. He was wearing untidy old clothes too. I went home and told my mom and dad about this girl. They listened to me well and finally told me, Naditi, you should treat her well. They didn't stop with that. They bought a color pencil box and some essential things for her. Next day, I went to school and gave them to her. I can still remember her eyes and her innocent smile when I gave those things to her. She gradually became friendly with me. She told me about her family. Her mother was working in a Middle Eastern country as a housemaid. Father was a laborer in the municipal council. I told other friends to treat her well and not to laugh at her. Everyone gradually changed. They started treating her well. For their birthdays, they bought gifts for her. So she became pleasant. So she started doing better in the class. She became a pleasant girl for others. When I noticed a change, now after 5 years, me and my parents are so happy. We help to create a good human being for the society. So friends, people can change if we change. We need to treat everyone equally and fairly. Everyone has their own problem. We can't judge people by the way they dress or they behave. So treat them well. It will change someone's life in a better way. Thank you.
Canoe Irangakoon, never give up. Canoe, never give up. Canoe Irangakoon.
When you keep trying, you are sure to succeed. Do you agree? Dear keynote speakers, parents, coach, and friends, I was doing my first electrical project. I was planning to make my own remote control toy car. I gathered all information from books and YouTube, and I collected all the things to make my car. I started the project. I fixed motors and batteries with hot glue gun, and I connected the wires. I covered the sketch with cardboard, and finally, I finished it in 1 hour. I was so excited. But when I tested the car, it didn't work. I was feeling so sad that I grabbed the car and hit it on the ground. But I never gave up my attempt. I tried more than 10 times. Finally, I completed it. I was so happy. Dear friends, if you fail one, don't give up. Just keep trying. One day you will surely succeed. Thank you.
Halana Ethanite. Never delay your work. Never delay your work. Halana Ethanite.
Life is full of memories, events, moments, and experiences. Some memories are sad, yet some brings a smile on your face. Dear keynote speaker, parents, coach, and friends. I was in my 7th grade and I was a really good child. I did my homework, I engaged in sport activities, I did all my work neatly, and I also helped my friends in solving math problems. But all of a sudden, one day, everything went online, and it was so hard to start. Technology kept me letting down, and I had so many power cuts and connection issues. It was the worst time that I ever faced in my grade. It was also fun because we were in our own homes, and it was fun. But I think I got too comfortable because I didn't take any notes that teachers gave during online class. Suddenly, 5 months has gone, and I have still written any notes in my books. Around 5th month, a message came to my mother's phone saying, "Dear parents, the school will be starting grade 6 to 11 students on Monday." I still remember that day. My mother called me and said, "Halana, you will be having school on Monday. Get ready." I was so happy. But when I checked my books, there were nothing in my books. The notes were incomplete. I ran near the computer and I was writing all the notes until my hand ached. Finally, I was able to write all the notes. It was a terrible experience, but I learned a very important lesson. If we don't do things on time, we will be suffering a lot. Thank you.
Rihan Solangarachi. The happiest day of my life. The happiest day of my life. Rihan Solangarachi.
Do you remember the happiest day of your life? Dear keynote speaker, parents, coach, and friends. We had planned to go a family vacation and I was 5 at that time. We enjoyed ourselves a lot on that trip. The highlight day was the second day after we had arrived there. Went to the pool and had lots of fun. When it was time for lunch, we started going back to our room to get ready. I was very excited about going up the elevator and got ahead of my parents and ran straight ahead into the wide open elevator in the lobby. Then the door got closed before I knew it, and I was the only soul inside. I got frightened, but somehow I managed to press the number of the floor where our room was. I probably spent the longest 30 seconds of my life before the elevator stopped at the 3rd floor. Then the door opened slowly. For the most comforting sight of my life, my dad had run the whole staircase to meet me at the door. It was a shocking experience, but the holiday is still the happiest day of my life. Thank you.
Dihen Jayavardhana. My favorite toy. My favorite toy. Dihen Jayavardhana.
Hello everyone. This is my favorite toy, Thomas. There are plenty of cartoons and books about Thomas and his friends. Thomas is a blue-colored champion deer. He lives in a shed called Frodo. He had a lot of friends. All of them are very angels. One day, Thomas went to see Edward. On the way, he saw the troublesome trucks pushing James. Then Thomas decided to help him. Then Thomas raced to James and told him, use your brakes, use your brakes. But unfortunately, James couldn't do it because his brakes were on fire. Then Thomas tried to couple James up. Before that, James derailed and crashed. Then finally, Thomas called the breakdown friend and told him, come quick, James needs your help. That's why I like Thomas very much, because he's a very good friend. Thank you for listening.
I started at year 1. There was PG and KG, but I didn't start from that because I already had been to the nursery.
But guess what I did? I started playing games.
Used to be another scientist, and that will be one reason too. The people around me took the notice of my change and they said, Amy, oh, how dark you've become.
My friend's name is Huda. She is 9 years old. Her favorite color is black.
Your legs start to shiver. Your heart is a pounding drum. Your brain sizzles furiously.
Okay, kids, congratulations on completing your level 1 in public speaking. Right, so we will award the certificates first, right, for your achievements, and then we have our keynote speaker here as well. And then we can pass over the controls to the keynote speaker. So you are ready to receive the certificates, kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Ayman Rumi, congratulations on completing level 1.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Sihat Tanwara Alhakon, congratulations on completing level 1.
Thank you, sir.
Amar Selin did not do her speech tonight. Linisha, congratulations on completing your level 1.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Kenul Bosika Ilangakon, congratulations on completing level 1.
Thank you, sir.
Naditin Uttara Chandrasekhar, congratulations on completing level 1.
Yes, sir.
Kalana Pawan Ekanayaka, congratulations on completing level 1.
Thank you very much, sir.
You're welcome. Amar Raif did not complete his speech as well. Adrian Rehan Solanga Arachi, congratulations on completing level 1.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Dihen Jawardana, congratulations on completing level 1.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, all right. So the parents will also get an opportunity to comment. They will also get an opportunity to speak. And the kids, you will also get an opportunity to speak. But before that, let's move over to what we have been waiting for. Amar, can you please welcome? Sorry, Amar?
No.
Amar, can you please spotlight the speaker to introduce our keynote speaker? Amar, are you there?
Hey.
China, go ahead, darling.
The time has arrived. The wait is over. An architect at WSO2, a visiting lecturer at SLIIT, a trainer and a community organizer. Let me invite our keynote speaker for today, Nilesh Jayanandana.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. That was lovely. Yeah, so I saw all of you got certificates, so congratulations on that. So I'm here to talk today about how public speaking helped me in my career, right? So as the introductor said, I'm a software architect, I'm a software engineer. So when you think about an engineer, what's the first thing that comes into your mind when you think of a software engineer or a software developer? Maybe y'all are still small to imagine that, but if your parents are here, what they would imagine probably is, you know, a boring somebody who's, you know, sitting in a corner, typing stuff in the computer, doing wonderful things, cool things, but still boring and, you know, keeping to themselves and not talking much. And that pretty much covers almost 90% of the software engineers that I know. All of these are brilliant engineers, really good, but still they don't talk much. They just mind their own business, and then they do what they do best. They code things. They provide you cool things like Netflix, Facebook, Zoom, Google, YouTube. Everything is done by blood and sweat of these engineers who, you know, are brilliant and who keep to themselves. So I'm one of those engineers. However, there's a small difference between me and most of them. That is, I do public speaking. So public speaking basically helped me to come up to the place where I am in a very short time. And that is the story that I'm going to share with you guys today. So talking about my school days, my primary years, when I was in grade 1 to grade 5, I went to a small school called St. Joseph's College, Nugegoda. Is it there anyone going to that school at the moment? I believe not. So that was a small school. It's in Nugegoda. So we only had about 50 or 60 people in a one batch, right? So, and I used to be the top fish. So I was the guy who was always the first in class. I was the guy who won all the certificates in English Day, Sinhala Day, all of these things. And because of it, I was the one who always got selected to do the welcome speeches and thank you speeches of the events hosted in that school, right? So back in the day when I was small, I remember my mother just was sitting down next to me for weeks, and we were practicing, we were going through these welcome speeches and thank you speeches. Honestly, it was daunting, really. And I didn't like it much. One of the reasons why I didn't like it much was these were by-hearted speeches. right? Which means I had to by heart everything. I didn't understand them. I wasn't good at English. So whatever my mother tells me, whatever that was written in the speech, I had to by heart. And delivering a by-hearted speech in front of a whole crowd is, to me, it's really terrifying. It was really, really hard. I remember moments before I do every speech when I was in the primary, I have my heart rate going up, my legs were shivering, a lot of things that were going through in my head. And I remember sometimes I stutter. I forget the next line. My mind goes entirely blank. And it was hard, but somehow I managed to do all of those things. And it worked. However, in primary, I was good at another thing. I was a debater. So I was in the debating team. So when you do debating, it's different to how you do speeches. Because in debating, you don't by heart. You understand the topic. You have some pointers with you, and then you talk to those points on the go. I was really good at that. So if I understand something, I can talk for hours about those, right? That really helped me out. So after my primary years, the next stage of my life was, the middle school, grade 6 to O levels, and then A levels, I believe, which you guys are in right now. So I passed scholarship exam and I went to Royal. So in Royal, I wasn't the top fish anymore, right? So I was if I got 98 for environmental studies, I was probably the 10th or 11th in the class, because there were 8 people who got 99 and 4 or 5 people who got 100. So I wasn't the top fish anymore now. I was just an average kid, because, from Sri Lanka, all over the world, who get highest results on the scholarship comes to Royal. That's all right. Because of that, I was more cornered. I didn't stand up much. And it just went downhill for me for a while at Royal. And what happened was, after that, another thing happened. The next thing that happened to me was, I switched from Sinhala medium to English medium. And this is a guy who didn't know English much at that time. And when this happened, my grades dropped further. And my confidence also dropped quite a lot, because see, when you move to the English medium classes, a lot of the kids are speaking in English. They're very fluent in English. And then if you make one tiny mistake, if you make a small thing, they would laugh at you. That was bad. That was a very bad experience. And that was sometimes hurting, and your confidence just goes down. However, what my mother did was, my mother gave me this book, Famous Five on a Treasure Island, the first of the famous book series. And she told me to read it, which I did, because she said if I read this and if I told her, if I narrate her that story, she's going to buy me the next book. And I'm a collector. I like to collect things. I like to collect books. So that's what I did. So it was hard, but I somehow managed to read it. I understood it while reading it. And then I narrated the story to my mother, which led her to buy the next book. Now I have the entire Famous Five collection. So with that, it actually improved my confidence. And I was, again, having confidence in my classes. I was understanding what my teachers are teaching me, and I was doing great. By the time I was doing A levels, so in O levels, short story short, I got 9 A's and a B. Ironically, the B was for IT, but yeah, I think that was a good result. And coming back to A levels, now I'm now an outgoing person in Royal. I'm talking with people. And another thing that I realized on the way was, making mistakes is okay. You're not born English, that's fine. Making mistakes when you're talking English is fine. So when others were laughing at me, I also laughed with them at my mistakes. And that helped me build my confidence more. and I was making speeches in school in front of, we had this thing called, there's once in a while you had to go in front of the class and make a talk about something valuable, something good to do, sort of a thing. So I was doing that also in English. And for once I wasn't scared, because even if I made a mistake, that was fine, because my friends would laugh at me, but I would laugh at it with them, and that was okay. However, with these things, I developed a lot of extracurriculars. I was in Interact. There's a club called Interact, which allows you to do community programs. I was doing debating. I was doing Shakespeare drama. I was doing a lot of things, extracurriculars. I ended up being a junior prefect and went all the way. However, with all of these things, I couldn't balance my time. So I ended up with 3 S's for A-levels. That was a down low, but still, from all the community speaking, the work I have done, everything, it's just built my character up, which made me ready to face the society after the life of school. The next stage was the university. In university, you get people from various places. It's different. In school, you have one culture. You have this culture and everybody's, you've been for a while with you. There's a way you think and all of it. But in university, that's not the case. People come from different areas in the country, and they have different perspectives, and they have different skill sets and different ways of communicating. So in university, mostly in my university, I went to SLIT as an IT undergrad. So here, what happened was we had a lot of presentations. So we had to do projects every 6 months, and we had to present the project. Now here also, I didn't by heart anything. I would go up on the stage. The first talk I did in my university, presenting my assignment, I think I got a C for that. But that day I stood down and I thought to myself, and I rethought of how I did it. I reworked my steps. And from next one onwards, I thought I'm going to get an A for the next one. And I did. How I did was, the next time when I went up there, I thought, I'm the one who knows everything. Nobody in the audience or nobody knows anything better. I'm the one who knows everything. So when you have that mindset, it really helped me to deliver my speech and deliver the content that I knew, the work I have done without stuttering and putting a confident image in front, which helped me get A's throughout. So moving forward in my university, I was an A student. So which meant I got scholarships. I was a Dean's List student. So there were a lot of things that I achieved in my university. And also on top of that, what I did was I was exposed. There were a lot of communities in the tech side, even in other industries, there's a lot of online communities. So in these communities, I was speaking up. Whenever I learn something new, whenever I read a book, I would write a blog post, or I would go ahead and do a talk in a public forum, sharing my knowledge and my experience and my take on a given technology or a book. So when I do that, sometimes my takes could be wrong. Sometimes the things I say would be wrong in the public stage, but that's okay. That's what community is. Then people point you out, then you accept it, and then you move on. And that's fine. And sometimes when people ask you questions, you might not know everything. That's fine. That's okay. What the point here is, you shouldn't be afraid to step up and talk about your experiences and share your stuff, right? That's really, really important, because doing so builds your brand. Doing so makes people around you in the community and everybody know your name. And by doing so only, Favis found me out and I was invited to do this talk as well. That's one of the main reasons. So more than that, another thing was, now in the introduction, the girl said that I was a trainer and a lecturer. So the first training, the opportunity that I got to train dialogue when I was an undergrad student. when I was in my second year. So in my second year in the university, without even a degree, I was talking about some technology in a public meetup group. I was standing up and I was talking about something. And one of the audiences saw that. And later they reached out and asked me whether I could train dialogue on that technology, right? That was a big thing. You are a second year undergrad student. Dialogue is a big enterprise with people with masters, PhDs, and degrees and all of it. And they wanted me to come and train them. It was a big opportunity for me. And I was scared at first. I could have said no, but as a matter of fact, in my life, I never say no to any of the opportunities that I get. So I always say yes. So I said yes here as well. And what I did was, I remember I was scared. I was being very scared. I was going through the internet. I was learning this because this is also a new technology for me as well. And now I had to do and teach this for a lot of people that I don't know who are much more qualified than me. And that's a real challenge, and it's really scary. But I did it anyway. And I remember on the first day, there was this guy who wore a shirt wearing Google certified architect. And that really shook me. So at that moment, on the first day of the training, when I saw that t-shirt, my confidence went from 100 to 0, which meant that I was again struggling. I was back into my old self and I was struggling to deliver. My stuff wasn't coming out. And on the first day itself, I got bad feedback. So every day you get feedback. So my feedback was 20%. My effectiveness was 20% on day 1. So I went home and I went back to my basics. And my basic was thinking that, I am the pro here. That's why I was given the training. I know what I'm talking about and nobody else knows anything. And that's the mindset that I had to have. So the next day I went in with that mindset. And my rating was, after that, always between 90 to 100. It never changed after that. So with that, it led me to become a lecturer, a part-time walk-in lecturer at SLIT. So there were a lot of things that I achieved by saying yes to public speaking and doing all of this. Another thing, when it comes to developers, in the beginning of my speech, I said that developers are mostly reserved. They don't talk much. They just do what they do. And I've known a lot of people who are like that, who are working for low salaries. They can't go through interviews in bigger companies, because they can't present themselves. They can't present themselves confidently. They can't build their image. They cannot tell what they know to the interviewer. So if you can't convince your interviewer at the interview, you won't get the job. So you're stuck. So that's why public speaking is very important, because it has given me the confidence to face an interview properly. So when I go to an interview, I hope that I always impress, but from the feedback I have gotten, I have always impressed my interviewers, and I've always got the job offer. This is because I always present a confident image. And even if I don't know something, I confidently say that I don't know that. And I give them the confidence saying that, I can figure this out if you give me some time, because you can't know everything. And that's how public speaking has helped me. So fast forward today, recruiters come after me every day. So every day, there's this platform called LinkedIn. I think you kids are too small to know it, but there's a platform called LinkedIn, and recruiters just message me every day, giving me job offers to migrate, better salaries, etc. So like, if you work good, if you build your brand, if you do public speaking, it helps you build your confidence and people come after you. You get recognized and you get famous. And like, to sum it up, I'm in WSO2. WSO2 is a big company in Sri Lanka, and I'm one of the youngest architects there to date. I'm 29 years old, and I'm working with people who have PhDs there. So, and I'm also a known member in the community And with this ability to do public speaking, even at my friends, functions like weddings, I'm the guy who does the wedding talk. I'm always the one who does the Westman speech. There was one time where I had COVID and I couldn't attend. None of the other engineers were able to, go up the stage and make the talk. So I had to come in via Zoom on the presentation slide, and then I had to do that speech. So I'm pretty sure these things are going to get back to me when I get married, but that's a different story. But that's how it is. So in conclusion, what I want to tell you kids today is that don't be afraid to speak up. Don't be afraid to take the next step. Don't be afraid to make a decision. Don't be afraid to say yes. Always share your experience. Always try to build your brand, make your name known for good reasons, not for bad reasons, but for good reasons. Make your name known and work with your friends and colleagues. And if anyone laughs at you, just ignore them, because it's your life, it's your path. Just always move forward, because at the end of the day, this is a famous saying Favis taught me: a smooth sea never made a skilled sailor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a brilliant speech. I loved it. And your entire life story in about 15 minutes. So yeah, public speaking, I mean, it's not like you will die without public speaking, right? It's not like you can't live without public speaking, but of course that is a problem. You can remain there, but it's very difficult for others to notice you without a skill to express your ideas and take your ideas across to a bigger stage. And public speaking gives you that opportunity to take you beyond that small community and to be noticed by others as well. That's amazing. Kids, do you have any questions? Nilesh, do you have time to take questions?
Yeah, I do. Please go ahead.
Kids, do you have any questions for Nilesh? Anyone?
I hope I didn't bore them today.
I think Rehan unmuted. Rehan, do you have a question?
No, sir.
Okay, right. Any others who? Do the others have any questions? No. All right. Nilesh, that was wonderful. In fact, I owe you my gratitude for coming here, taking your time, and inspiring these kids with your with your life story. I don't think not only the kids, but also the parents could have also taken a lot of lessons from your speech. So thanks a lot, Nilesh. I wish you all the best in all your future endeavors. And thanks again, once again, for coming here tonight.
Thank you, Favis. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, and all the very best. Thank you. Bye.
See you.
Bye.
All right. Okay, kids. Now, all right. So you've completed your level 1, right? You've done all your speeches. How do you feel?
Good.
Good?
Great.
Great.
Good, sir. Good.
All right. Brilliant.
Good.
Okay, nice.
Good, sir.
Okay, right. That's nice.
Extremely great.
Very good. Okay, brilliant. Now, do you have anything to say, anything to comment on, or if the parents, if you have anything to say, this is your opportunity. So kids, you can turn your videos on now, and if you have anything to say, anything to comment on, please do so. And if the parents, like I told you, if you have any comments to share about the program, any critical feedback, go ahead. Anyone? Okay, no comments. Anything that you think that Speak could improve? No. All right then. Okay. Right. So if you have no comments, no questions to ask, no critical feedback, then we will end the session tonight. And before we end, before we call Ayan to give the vote of thanks, Ammar, can you please play the final video?
With the interesting and inspiring keynote speech, the 29th has come to a close. I'm sure all of you enjoyed today's event. It was a wonderful event with an array of interesting speeches and one life-changing keynote speech. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone who made this possible. I would like to thank our keynote speaker, Mr. Nilesh Jayanandanan. The director of speak. The students for enlightening and entertaining with us with their wonderful speeches, the role players of Speak Academy, parents, coaches, guests, the Zoom host for today, and finally, Mr. Farweez Imamuddin. And I would like to wish everyone all the best. And I would like to wish a very good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayan. Good night, everyone. And have a great night.
Good night, madam.